Okay, fingers crossed that this works. Okay, I need a volunteer. Bailey, I saw your hand first. Will you pass these out for me, please? All right. So, we will be starting our dystopia project this week. I'm going to go through the different parts of the dystopia project, and then you'll have some time to start reading your book today in class. A majority of this dystopia project will be completed in class. There is really no reason that you shouldn't be able to complete your dystopia project outside of class. You really don't need to do that. As long as you're using your time wisely, you should be able to do your dystopia project in class. Ariana, hold on. So, as long as you're using your time wisely, you will be able to complete your dystopia project in class and not have to take it home. Each part of your dystopia project is going to be worth points, and then you will have an overall grade for the entire project. There are 8 different parts to this dystopia project. There is jargon, connotation, dystopian qualities, thank you, Bailey, rules of dystopia, comparing and contrasting your book to the village, theme of your book, and then you will also summarize your book, and you will connect a topic from the book to a nonfiction article. So, there are going to be different elements, and each of them have due dates, which leads me to the back of this paper. The back of this paper outlines all of the due dates, okay? So, jargon and connotation are the first 2 that are going to be due, and they're going to be due on the 17th. Okay, that's 12 days from today. Here's the thing, though. You will have more than half of those days, probably 7 days, you will have in class to work on them. Okay? So as long as you are working on them as you go, again, there's really no reason for you to need to take this home or anything like that, because you should be able to keep up. Then the summary is going to be due the 24th. You will notice that you need to have your book finished by the 24th, okay, of September. Now, what some people decide to do is they decide to figure out how many days that is from today, and then however many pages they have, and then they divide and they do a bunch of math, which you know is not my thing. So I'm not going to help you with that because you don't want my help. But if that's something that you want to do to figure out how many pages you have to read per day, cool, that's fine. Then you have dystopian qualities, and those are going to be due on the 27th of September. And rules are due on the same day because they're very similar artifacts. Then the village is going to be due on the 28th. Theme is going to be due on the 1st of October. And then the very last one that you're going to do is connection nonfiction, and this is going to be due on October 2nd. Okay? So the entire dystopia project will be done October 2nd, which is about a month from today. Okay? Do you have any questions about that so far? Okay, so what I've done is I have made all of the different artifacts into different colored paper. That way it's easier to reference which one I'm talking about whenever I'm talking about it. Or I'm saying, hey, your nonfiction connections due. What color is that? It's orange. Okay? So this is your first artifact. Did you have a question, Ronald? I'm sorry. Okay. This is one of the artifacts. This is the last artifact that you're going to do. This is what it looks like. It has all kinds of different parts to it, but they all kind of go together. You're going to find a nonfiction text or article or whatever that relates back to your book, something that happens in your book. So if there's cloning in your book, you may want to find an article about cloning or something like that in modern day society. I will talk about these more in detail with the coming due dates. So once we've gone through all the rest of them, then I'll go through this one. So closer to October, I'll go through this one. But I am going to give you all the papers today. Okay? Then, these are backwards, I'm sorry, but that's just the way my pile is. Another artifact that you have is Dystopia versus the Village. So you're going to find, what do I need? 5 connections from your book to the village. Okay, and that, again, we'll explain closer to time, but that's kind of one thing that I want you to be thinking about. Then you have a theme. Remember, fiction text has theme. So you're going to give me a theme right here, and then you will tell me 3 quotes, one from the beginning, one from the middle, one from the end, that shows your theme. Then you have your summary. This is where you're going to tell me in 30 to 60 words the title, the author, the main characters, the goal, and the roadblocks. You will see right here that it says a summary does not spoil the book for readers and is objective. Okay? So you should look at it as, if I am going to start reading your book, I shouldn't know what happens at the end of your book after reading your summary. Okay? It should just make me interested to read it. Then we have qualities of dystopia. So I have listed over here the qualities of dystopian societies. You will pick 3 different ones just by circling it. And then you'll give me textual evidence from your dystopia book. And you'll explain how this textual evidence supports which one you chose. Then we have rules of dystopia. You're going to give me 3 rules that your main characters must adhere to in the society. So for the village, for example, they weren't allowed to be around or have the color red. That's a rule, okay? And then you just give me textual evidence and then tell me how that rule contributes to society. So does it invoke fear? Does it invoke obedience? Why does that rule exist? Then we have connotation. Connotation is the feelings that words give off, so either positive or negative. You're going to give me 2 words in the book, and you're going to tell me the textual evidence that it appears. Is the connotation positive or negative? And then how does this word impact the story? And then your very last, but also your first, I don't know, my last in my pile, but your first artifact that you'll have to do, is jargon. Now, jargon are words that are specific to your book or to the world in which your book exists. And we're going to go through an entire jargon lesson over different jargon words and how to find them within your story. But we'll go more into detail. But you're going to have to give me 5 jargon words, textual evidence, and then what that word means. Okay? So, one thing that I want you to remember. When you are working, you always, always, always have to give me textual evidence on every single one of them except for the summary. So, and I'm going to have this up on the board as you guys are working, but you have to give me a citation because here's what's going to happen. You're going to turn this jargon paper into me, and you're going to have 5 beautiful jargon words. And you're going to have 5 mediocre textual evidences because they don't have a citation. And here's what I have to do. Go find your quotes again and give me a citation. Okay? I am not going to accept your artifacts if they do not have citations on them. I will just give them back to you. Okay? If they are all worth, I believe they're all worth 8 points, but I may be wrong on that, so I need to, what? They're worth 6 points? Where did you see that? Oh, I didn't realize that was on there. Okay, oh yeah, there it is. They're all worth 6 points, thank you. So these are part of your overall grade for that. It will go as a project, so it's 60% of your grade. I will only allow you to redo it 1 time. Okay? I will only hand it back to you 1 time. And you'll only get half credit at the most if you don't do citations. And you don't fix it when I give it back to you. Does anybody have any questions about that so far? So what I will have is, does everybody see these like trays over here? You kind of see these trays? You will have 8 of them, and they will be over here on those 2 desks that kind of form a table, and each one of them will be labeled. jargon, connotation, rules, qualities, nonfiction, and you will just turn them into that tray. You guys will have one, and then second block will have one too. And you'll just be able to kind of turn them in at your leisure. You do not have to wait until the due date. I would highly suggest that you get them in at least a day before the due date, because then I have the opportunity to give it back to you. Because I will not give it back to you after the due date. Okay? Unless it's completed and it's right. Okay? You won't have the opportunity to fix it after the due date. Does that make sense? Okay, so I would highly suggest that you get all these artifacts turned in before the due dates. Okay? I will also have up on this board over here, I'll have a citation reminder and how to do it, and then I will also have up the different colors and what they all go with. So like there'll just be a piece of green paper and it'll say connotation. So that way when I say, hey, get out your orange paper, you're not like, which orange paper? The summary or the nonfiction? Okay? Yeah, absolutely. This is yours, and then we'll also pass out all the artifacts here in just a minute. Do you have any questions so far? Okay, tomorrow we will talk about theme, and we'll do a little theme activity, so you won't have time in class tomorrow to work on any of your project. You might have a little bit at the end of class, but not very much. And then Friday will be a full dystopia workday. Okay, so you will be reading, filling out whatever artifacts you can. You'll want to start with jargon first, because at the beginning of the book is typically where they introduce jargon. And then on Monday, I'm going to give you the full jargon lesson so that you can go back and be like, I know that that's jargon. Okay? Any questions about any of that? Okay.